Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be doing a book review today of Yes, No, Maybe So. I'm excited to do this book review because this is actually the first real book review I've done on my channel, which is weird because I've been on here for about 7 months now and I haven't done just like a sit-down book review yet. Yes, No, Maybe So is a young adult contemporary novel that follows two main characters, Jamie and Maya. They're seniors in high school, but it's like the summer before their senior year. So they're like 17 years old and they are helping with the Georgia State Senator election campaign. So they are working for the Democrat candidate for the election and they are going door to door canvassing, which is, you know, where you knock on the doors and ask people if they're going to turn out to the polls to vote and tell them about your candidate. So these two characters go canvassing together and they end up falling for each other over the course of this election. It's a cute concept. The story was very cute. I did enjoy this book. I would give it about a 3 out of 5 stars. It was fun. It had all the basics of a YA contemporary, exactly what you think you're gonna get. I just had several problems with this book. I have started a new Instagram, which will be basically the Instagram for this YouTube channel. I'll be posting book updates and video updates. Go click on that Instagram. It'll be down in the description down below. Show it some love and definitely follow so you can stay up to date with all of my videos and stuff, because I will be posting announcements about videos and whatever on there. I think that's all I'm going to say for the spoiler-free part of this book review. Let's just go ahead and dive into like the nitty-gritty and let's tear this book apart. Not really. I'm not going to be too mean. I just have some things I want to talk about. So if you haven't read this book and you don't want to be spoiled, now's your time to go. You can come back once you've read. Alright, let's get into it. So let's start with the positives. Let's see. So the first thing that I really liked about this book is that it shows young people getting involved in the world of politics. And now the world of politics is not my scene. If you know me at all, you know that I hate politics. I was raised in like a semi-political household. I had to go to a lot of like small political events when I was younger and I hated every second of those. I still do. Every time I have to go to an event, I dread it. Anyways, that is not the point of this. What was I saying? Yes, so I do think this book is great for showing young people getting involved. I think that is an important thing to show to young people, that even though you can't vote, because these characters are 17, they cannot vote in the election, they still are able to get involved and they are super passionate about their candidates and what they believe in. So that's not really something that's shown in a lot of young adult books, so that was interesting. I thought Jamie and Maya had a really cute friendship. I thought it was very genuine and I liked the connection that they had. It wasn't one of those where they're just like forced to be together, you know? It felt very natural. Also, this book brought some serious issues to my attention. There's probably a lot of terrible stuff going on that I need to be aware about that I'm not aware about, and these high schoolers are more aware than me. So yeah, I need to start looking at House bills and, you know, things that are being presented in the legislature. So note to self, Angelina, do your research. And I also really enjoyed the canvassing scenes where they're going door to door. I thought those were the strongest points of the book. Yeah. And that's all I really have to say for the positives on this book. The little romance was cute, but also problematic, which I will get into on my negatives, because I just... let's go ahead and discuss that part first. Let's talk about the romance. So, as you know, I'm assuming that you've read this if you're still here, Maya is Muslim and her parents tell her that she shouldn't date in high school and that she should only date when she's like ready to be married and looking for a husband and not just for, you know, a casual boyfriend. I thought that was a really good thing to put in the book, because this is obviously something that a lot of people deal with, and I'm sure a lot of Muslim high schoolers struggle with this, where they like someone but they can't date them because of, you know, their religious culture, and I don't even know if that's the term that I want to be using, but you know what I mean. So I liked that they put that in there, but I was mad that Maya didn't follow that. Like, I thought that was just weird. Like, they make a big deal about Maya not being allowed to date, and then she says she's gonna date Jamie anyways. And that bothered me because here we go we're having some great representation. It's rare to find a Muslim character in a young adult book. So I thought it would have been a great idea for Maya to be like, sorry Jamie, I can't date you. I really like you, but I think we should just be friends for now and we can continue being friends, and if our friendship is really good, then we can see if that'll lead to marriage. But no! She starts making out with him in Target, which is a whole nother issue I have with this book. So like, I was just frustrated with that. Okay, I get it if you don't want to follow all the rules. Like, Maya doesn't wear a hijab, so it's not like she's being super strict in every category. I just wish that the authors would have done something different, because they had a really cool opportunity to show a Muslim girl deciding not to date someone. I know you want them to end up together, but they could have been friends and been fine. I mentioned the kissing scene in Target. Can we just address that for a moment? Okay, so Jamie confesses his love. They meet up later at Target, and Maya's like, I like you too, and then they kiss. I'm like, okay, one little small kiss in Target is fine. But then they start full on making out, and they're like running through the aisles, like stopping every couple seconds to kiss each other. And then they go into the dressing room, and they go in the family dressing room and proceed to make out, and she's like lying on like the little bench and they're kissing. And I just thought that was too much for me. I'm not a big PDA person. I don't mind holding hands, like a little kiss on the cheek, a small peck on the lips. But why would you make out in public? And first of all, in a Target dressing room, you know that's not sanitary. And then it got even weirder because he's like, is this alright? And she's like, yeah, I'm not allowed to date, but like, it's fine. Let's keep talking about Target, shall we? I feel like these authors tried to make our characters so relatable that it came off too cheesy. Like, they're constantly talking about how awesome Target is. And like, yes, I love Target too. But like, Target played such a big role in this book, and I thought it was just odd. I was like, why are we talking about Target so much? Why are we always going to Target? And like, I guess it's fine. I guess like in the show Friends, they always frequent that little coffee shop, so I guess like it's their place. I don't know. And same with The Office, where the characters are watching The Office. It just felt like it was like trying too hard to be relatable. The other thing that bothered me with this book is that the characters are so angsty. And like, maybe it's just because they're 17, because teenagers are just angsty people. Like, that's just teenagers. But I feel like these authors, again, went too hard. Because Jamie and Maya got mad at everything, and they overreacted to everything. I was like, y'all need to calm down. I was like, you're 17 years old. You need to mature because you're being ridiculous. Let's have some examples, shall we? They go to Target to pass out their flyers, and they go to Kevin, and they're like, hey Kevin, can we pass out our flyers here in the Target? And Kevin's like, sorry guys, you can't pass out your political flyers here in Target. He's like, I agree, this bill that you're trying to stop is a terrible bill, but you just can't do that. And then Maya and Jamie get so mad at poor Kevin, who's literally just doing his job, and they like take their flyers and they stomp away, and they're like, that man is so racist because he won't let us pass out flyers. And I'm like, no, he works for a corporation. He's a high schooler himself, I think. He might be like going into college, I don't know. But I'm like, poor Kevin, like, he's just trying not to get in trouble with the company because Target is a corporation, and you can't just let people pass out their political agenda in the middle of a store. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you could have easily just gone down the street and stopped people before they walked into the store. Like, you did not need to get that mad at poor Kevin, who's just trying to follow the rules, you know? It was moments like that that just irritated me. I was like, don't get so upset. Like, chill out. It's fine. Also, Jamie's speech at the bar mitzvah was so disappointing. We had spent this whole novel, which is like 400 pages, by the way. But anyways, we spent most of this book trying to get Jamie to overcome his fear of public speaking so he can give this great speech for his sister's bar mitzvah. So the bar mitzvah comes, and I'm like, yes, Jamie, this is your time. Show me what you've learned this entire book. And then his speech isn't even good. It's not even good. It's like 5 sentences, maybe. It's super short. And does he talk about his sister? Barely. It's his sister's bar mitzvah. Like, this is a big deal. And he talks about the political campaign and the election, like the majority of his speech. And that just really bothered me. I was like, Jamie, your mom told you not to do that and you did it anyways. What you're doing with the election is important, but your sister's bar mitzvah is also important, and that day is about her, not about you or your politician. I was expecting some really great story about him and Sophie and how proud he is to be her brother, but instead it was like, vote for Raziam. Sarah was a weird best friend. Like, so Sarah and Maya are supposedly BFFs. They've been best friends since like kindergarten. And then as soon as Maya tells Sarah how she's been feeling all summer, Sarah just ghosts her. She leaves and doesn't say anything to Maya. And I felt like that was so odd. I was like, no real friend is gonna do that. You're telling me these girls have been friends for like over 10 years? And Maya communicates her feelings for like the first time, and you know, maybe not in the best way, but she tells Sarah how she's been feeling, and Sarah's just like, screw you, Maya, I'm leaving. Like, that was weird. At least Sarah came back at the end. That just wasn't a well-written relationship for me. I didn't like that. Okay, and now I want to get to the other big problem I had with this book. This book is just so polarized that it is frustrating. You know, like, polarization is like so bad at the moment, and I feel like this book is doing nothing to help polarization and only pushing it further. For instance, there are 2 times in this novel where the characters encounter someone who is voting for the Republican candidate. And I remember they're working on the Democratic campaign. So the Republican candidate is like their enemy in this book, right? So they encounter people working on the Republican or voting for the Republican candidate. And they're amazed that that person is nice. They go to one person's office and they're like, wow, the secretary here is so nice. How can she vote for a man like that? She's probably not nice in real life. This is probably just all fake. And then Maya's working the polls and an older lady comes in and she has a Newton button. Newton is the Republican candidate. She has the Newton button on, and Maya notices that and she's like, why was that woman so nice? Because the woman was really nice to her. She was like, have a good day, you have the prettiest smile, it's the kind that makes me think the world is a beautiful place. Like, this is just like a super sweet old lady telling Maya how pretty she is, right? So she's being super nice, and then Maya's like, that was really sweet, but also she voted for the other candidate, so she can't possibly be actually nice. And that just really bothered me, because you can't, you know, like, I was so frustrated. I was like, just because someone doesn't share the same political view as you doesn't mean they're a terrible person. That just could have been handled differently. I think what should have been done is Maya could have been like, okay, wow, see, I see she's voting for someone that I don't like. I wonder why, because she seems like such a nice person. And this could have been like a moment for Maya to like broaden her horizons and be like, I should take more time to get to understand other people's beliefs. Like, why is she voting for this candidate? Anyways, all that to say, while I did have some problems with this novel, I also enjoyed it. Let me know down below what your thoughts are. Do you agree with anything I said? Do you disagree? Let me know. Let's have some conversation. Okay, I think that's all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that this video was good. It probably was a little all over the place. I'm scatterbrained this morning. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all are having a very lovely day, and I'll see you guys whenever I post my next video. Who knows when that'll be. Thanks for watching. Bye.